Hello everyone, welcome back to the Design Studio. In this video, I'm going to share with you how to make this beautiful St. Patrick garland. The inspiration for this project comes from my daughter-in-law. She loves to decorate our grand twins nursery for each holiday. So I offered to make a garland for each holiday. This is the second one. First one was for Valentine's Day. And in this video, I'm going to share with you step by step how to make all of these motifs. In this video, I'm going to share with you how to make the cord as well. This stitch is called the ribbon stitch, and it looks more complicated than what it is. I'm going to share with you how to make it step by step.
Designs, unique expressions.
Selecting the yarn is one of my favorite things to do. I decided to go with cotton. I have all the yarn I'm going to be using for this project, and the good thing is that I am going to get them at 30% off. This project doesn't require that much yarn per color, but I have other plans for this yarn as well. And just to cheer you up,
¿Te gusta?
here's my granddaughter. If you are not interested in learning how to make all these motifs, I'm adding timestamps to this video. In that way, you can skip parts of the video and go directly to the motif of your choice. Let's get started. You are going to be needing a pair of scissors and yarn needle. If you are making the garland as I made it, you're gonna need all these yarn colors. These are what I recommend, but you can change it and substitute it with any colors of your choice. For the crochet hook, I decided to go smaller in size, 4.4 millimeter. The crochet hook recommended in the label of these yarns is 5.5 millimeter. The first thing we're gonna be making is the rainbow. Making a slip knot. Wrapping the yarn around my finger this way, making an X. I'm going to put the hook underneath this part of the yarn on top of the other and pull the yarn through. I'm going to let go and tie the knot. That's a slip knot. We're going to be making 7 chains to start. Now for row 1, we're going to make a single crochet here in the second chain from the hook. Insert the hook, pull the yarn through. Now you have 2 loops in the hook, yarn over and pull it through all 2 loops. We're going to make another one in the same chain. 2 single crochet in each chain until the end. You should end with 12 single crochet for row 1. And now in the last one, don't finish it completely, leaving these 2 loops in the hook to change color. I'm cutting this yarn now. I'm trying to leave the same length for all my tails. Now we're gonna attach color number 2, again leaving the same length of tail. I'm going to just yarn over right here on top of the hook and pull it through to complete this single crochet. I'm going to make 2 knots grabbing both tails, the purple and the blue together to secure it. For row number 2, we're going to chain 1. We're going to turn around our work, and we're going to make a single crochet in each stitch. Very simple. You should end up with 12 single crochet for row number 2. I'll meet you at the end of row number 2.
So you woke up. Yeah. Are you gonna let me finish this? Are you? Uh-huh.
Wasn't that adorable? I am here at the end of row number 2. This last stitch is always the hardest one. Make sure you grab both loops, pull the yarn through, and keep those 2 loops in the hook because you're going to change color now. Using the light blue color. Cutting the yarn we're not using anymore. I am going to yarn over the new yarn to complete the stitch. And now I'm going to pull both tails together, the dark blue one and the light blue one. And I'm going to secure them, making 2 knots, just like I did before. For row 3, we're going to start with a chain. We're going to turn our work around and we're going to insert our hook in the next single crochet. We're going to make a single crochet, and in the next one we're going to make 2. So we're going to be repeating the same pattern, a single crochet and an increase, 2 in the same until the end. Continue working in this pattern and I'll meet you at the end. You should end up with 18 single crochet. I'm here on my last 2 stitches. Always this last one is the hardest one. I'm not going to finish the last stitch because I am changing colors. I'm leaving my 2 loops in the hook. Cutting the yarn we're not using anymore to then attach the new yarn. In this case, it's the green one. I'm going to yarn over and pull it through this way to complete the stitch, and then make 2 knots to secure it. For row 4, we are going to start with a chain 1. We're going to turn our work around this way and we're going to put a single crochet in the first stitch here. We're going to make 2 single crochet and then an increase. 2 in the same. We're going to repeat this pattern. Okay? That was 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Now we're going to make 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and then an increase, 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Until the end of this row, we should end up with 24 stitches all together. So continue making this row and I'll meet you at the end of row 4. I'm here at the end of row 4 in my last stitch, grabbing both loops. Remember, this is probably the hardest stitch to get into. Use your nails if it's needed. Okay, so now we're going to make 2 single crochet, not going to finish the last stitch. I'm going to cut this yarn because I'm not using it anymore. And now I'm going to introduce the new color, this beautiful yellow. We're going to yarn over the yellow here to complete the stitch, and then we're going to grab both the yellow tail and the green together to secure it with 2 knots. Now for row 5, we're going to start with chain 1. And we're going to turn our work around. We're going to make 3 single crochet in the first 3 stitches, and then we're going to make an increase, 2 single crochet in the same stitch. We're going to repeat that pattern 3 and then an increase. We should end up with 30 stitches for row 5. Continue working in row 5 and I'll meet you at the end to change color. I'm here at the end of row 5 with my last stitch. I'm going to leave the 2 loops in the hook to change color. Cutting the yarn I'm not going to be using anymore. Now I'm going to introduce this bright orange. I'm going to grab it and yarn over to finish this stitch and tie these 2 together with 2 knots. For row 6, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work around and make a single crochet in the next stitch and continue making a single crochet in each stitch until the end of this row. You should end with 30 stitches all together. 1 single crochet in each stitch until the end. Now meet you at the end of this row. I am here at the end of row 6. I'm going to leave the 2 loops in the hook to change color. Cutting this yarn that I'm not going to use anymore. To bring the new color yarn, this beautiful pink, I'm going to yarn over it and pull it through this last stitch. Grabbing both tails together, the yellow and the orange, making 2 knots to secure it. For row 7, we're going to start with a chain 1, turn our work around. We're going to make a single crochet in the next stitch. And we're going to continue making single crochet in each stitch until the end of this row. You should end up with 30 single crochet for row 7. Continue working on this row and I'll meet you at the end to fasten off. I am here at the end of row 7 with my last stitch. I'm going to cut the yarn to fasten off. And that's it. We completed the first rainbow for the garland. To make the rainbow a little bit more firm, I made another one and I'm going to put them together, stitching them here along the side with a single crochet all around. I am making sure that they're both aligned. I'm going to just make a single crochet here, grabbing both stitches all together, okay? So the way I do that is I am grabbing the same color, I'm making a loop here and I'm yarn over, pull it through completely. I'm going to make a chain to secure this yarn here. And then I'm going to go and grab the first stitch here on the other rainbow. Yarning over both loops. That's to start. I'm going to continue grabbing both rainbows and I'm going to make just a single crochet, aligning the stitches on the top. Okay, pulling the yarn through and then making a single crochet. Making sure I'm aligning them both nicely. Until I attach the 2 rainbows completely. Keep doing that and I'll meet you at the end to fasten off and show you what's next. Okay, and now I'm here at the end. I'm going to just cut the yarn and fasten up. Now I'm going to trim all my little ends to make sure that they are all uniform. And of course, if you have a better pair of scissors, use them. These were not that sharp. And to close the bottom part, I'm using a yarn needle and the purple yarn to completely close the bottom. For the pot with gold, we're going to start with the magic ring, wrapping the yarn around the finger like this, making an X. Putting the hook underneath this yarn on top of the other one, pulling the yarn through. That will make a ring. We will not let go of the ring completely because we're going to be working inside the ring. Okay, to secure the ring, we're going to make one chain. And then for round one, we're going to make 6 single crochet all around. Two, three, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to pull the tail to close the ring completely. I'm going to join this round with a slip stitch here at the beginning of the round. To start round 2, going to chain 1, and we're going to make 2 single crochet in each stitch around. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat 2 single crochet in each stitch around. You should end up with 12 single crochet for round 2. And I'll meet you at the end of round 2. Something I forgot to mention is to use a stitch marker. I'm here at the end of round 2 already. I'm going to join with a slip stitch right here at the beginning of round 2. I'm going to close this round. I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to make 1 single crochet in the same stitch we joined. This is to start round 3. I'm putting the stitch marker at the beginning of each round. Round 3 is going to be a single crochet, which we already made, and then on the next stitch we're going to make an increase. 2 single crochet in the same stitch. We're going to repeat that pattern, a single crochet and then an increase, 2 in the same. Let's do that together. A single crochet and an increase, 2 in the same. You should end up with 18 stitches for round 3. Continue making this pattern, a single crochet and an increase, until you reach the end of this round, and I meet you at the end of round 3. I am here at the end of round 3 with my last stitch. I'm going to make 2 single crochet in the same stitch to finish this round. I'm going to join here with a slip stitch, chain 1 to start round 4. We're gonna make a single crochet in the same stitch we joined. Let me put the stitch marker to make it easy to identify. Round 4 is gonna consist of a single crochet that we already made, another single crochet, and an increase. You're gonna repeat this 6 more times, that same pattern, 2 single crochet and then an increase, 2 in the same. You should end up with 24 stitches for round 4. I'll meet you at the end of round 4. For round 5, I already joined and made the first stitch for round 5. Round 5 is going to consist of 3 single crochet, which I already made 1. This is our second, 3, and then an increase, 2 in the same stitch. So the pattern is going to be 3 single crochet and an increase 6 times all around until the end of round 5. You should end up with 30 single crochet all together. Keep working on this round and I'll meet you at the end of round 5. I'm here at the end of round 5 with 2 single crochet in the same space. Total of 30 single crochet for round 5. Now we're going to join differently this time. We're going to grab only the back loop right here. We're going to make a slip stitch. We're going to chain 1 and we're going to turn our work around. And make a single crochet in the same stitch we joined. That's our first single crochet for this round. And if you feel better, add the stitch marker at the beginning of each round to make it more noticeable. For this round, we're going to continue making single crochet in each stitch around, but remember, grabbing only the front loop. Now that we turn it around, all we're grabbing is the front loop. Let me share with you how it looks when we turn it around. This is the inside of it and this is the outside. You see how pretty it is? It's going to create this effect. So that's what we're doing. We're just grabbing the front loop to create texture by only grabbing the front loop. Continue making this, just 1 single crochet in each stitch around until you finish this, and you should end up with 30 stitches. See you at the end. Okay, so now I'm here at the end of round 6 with my last stitch, grabbing only the front loop. I'm going to join. Grabbing only the front loop. Going to make a slip stitch. Going to chain 1. And I'm going to turn around again. I'm going to make a single crochet in the same stitch I joined. And that's going to count as my first single crochet for this round. Now we're going to make a single crochet in each stitch around. In this case, we're going to grab only the back loop. Okay, so this one's a little bit more complicated. You just have to turn your piece around this way to grab the back loop. Once you do a couple of them, it's easier. Continue grabbing only one loop. Until you reach the end of this round, you should end up with 30 stitches for round 7. I will meet you at the end of this round. This is the texture we're creating by turning our work around and alternating grabbing the front loops or the back loops of each round. I'm here at the end of round 7. I'm going to join. I still have 2 stitches to make, and I'm grabbing only the back loop for these 2 stitches. When joining, it's better if you grab both loops. It doesn't make a difference if you grab only one. So grab both of them when you're joining each round. Make a slip stitch and then chain 1 and turn around to start round 8. Now for round 8, you can see that this is the inside and this is the outside. In the previous round, we grabbed the back loop. Now we're going to grab the front loop. In the same stitch we join, we make our first single crochet. And we're going to put our stitch marker here at the beginning of the round. We're going to continue making a single crochet in each stitch around, grabbing the front loop only. You should end up with 30 stitches at the end of round 8. Continue working on this round and I'll meet you at the end of round 8. I'm here at the end of round 8. I'm going to remove the stitch marker to join with a slip stitch. Chain 1, turn our work around, now you're going to be working on the back loops only. That's the first single crochet for round 9. Continue working 1 single crochet in the back loop only for round 9 until the end. You should end with 30 single crochet, and I'll meet you at the end to work on the strap. I am here at the end of round 9, going to join to now start working on the strap. We're going to join here before we start with the strap with the slip stitch. We're going to make 15 chains. Now we are going to attach the strap, counting 15 stitches from here. In that way, it is balanced, and you are attaching the strap on the other side. We're going to make a slip stitch here to attach. Now we're going to chain 1 and start making single crochet around the strap until we reach the other side. I made 3 extra ones. Instead of 15, I made 18 single crochet. When you get to the other side, just slip stitch and fasten off. I am going to be leaving here a long tail about 24 inches to then use it to attach the lid. Now let's make the lid. We're going to start with the magic ring, wrapping the yarn around the finger like this, making an X, putting the hook underneath this yarn on top of the other, and pulling the yarn through. That will form a ring. We're not going to let go of the ring completely because we're going to work inside the ring. And before we move forward, we make a chain to secure the ring. Now we're going to make 6 single crochet for round 1 of the lid, all around the ring. Total of 6 single crochet for this round. I'm here at the end of the first round. I'm going to pull the tail to close the ring, and I'm going to join this round with a slip stitch right here at the first single crochet we made. You're going to chain 1, and we're going to make 2 single crochet in each stitch. We're going to make increases all around. You should end up with 12 single crochet for round 2. Keep doing 2 single crochet in each stitch, and I meet you at the end of round 2. And if you rather, use always the stitch marker at the beginning of each round. Now I'm going to join round 2 with a slip stitch here on the first single crochet we made for round 2. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to make a single crochet in the first space here, the same stitch we joined. I'm going to put my stitch marker. For round 3, we're going to start with a single crochet, which we already made right after we joined. And then in the next stitch, we're going to make 2 single crochet and increase. You're going to repeat that 1 single crochet and then an increase. Continue working in this round, and I'll meet you at the end of round 3. Okay, now I'm here at the end of round 3. I'm going to join with a slip stitch chain one single crochet in the same stitch we joined, right? And this is going to be my first single crochet for round 4. We're gonna make another single crochet, and then in the next one we're gonna make an increase. 2 single crochet in the same space. I'm gonna repeat that pattern. 2 single crochet and an increase. 2 in the same stitch. Keep repeating that pattern and I'll meet you at the end of this round. I am here at the end of round 4. With my last stitch, I'm going to make an increase, 2 in the same stitch, and then I'm going to join and fasten off. I'm going to weave in both tails and attach this to the pot. But before I attach it, I'm going to put a little bit of polyfiber inside the pot. I am weaving in the tail from the pot as well, securing the magic ring, and then I'm adding the polyfiber. I don't want to overstuff it, I just put enough. Now with the long tail I left, I'm going to just transfer it here to the front to show you better. I'm going to grab a stitch at a time from the lid, and then I'm going to go back like that to the pot. I am going to repeat the process all around until I secure the lid completely to the pot. And because the lid is a little bit smaller than the opening of the pot, I'm going to make sure that I center it. So I keep looking to see that I'm not pulling too much from one side. And now that I completed the task of attaching the lid to the pot, I'm just going to come here and make a loop to secure it. And then I'm going to take the needle to another section of the pot to hide the yarn inside. I can guarantee you this is not going anywhere. Now I can cut the yarn short and that's it. For the coins, it's very simple. I'm going to make a magic ring again, holding the yarn like this. I'm going to put the hook here underneath this yarn and on top of the other one and pulling the yarn through. I'm going to let go of the ring, but I'm not going to close it because we're going to work inside the ring. Chain 1. And now we're going to make 6 single crochet inside the ring. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to close the ring by pulling the tail completely, and then I'm going to join here on the first single crochet we made. I'm going to join with a slip stitch. I'm going to cut the yarn, leaving a tail to attach to the lid. I'm going to fasten up. I made 5. If you want to make more, you may. I think 5 is enough. I found that it was better to attach all the coins to each other first and then attach it to the pod. It got a little crazy with all these tails, so what I decided to do is make knots among themselves and cut the yarn short and just leave a couple of tails to use them to attach to the pod. And this is how it turned out. So cute.
Okay, so to make the shamrock, this is not a clover. If you want a clover, you need to do 4 of this, but we're gonna make a shamrock.
So sorry, it's a shamrock. A little hard word for me to say. Now let's start. We're gonna start with the magic ring. I'm going to wrap the yarn around my fingers this way, making an X. Going to hold it like this. Putting the hook underneath this yarn and on top of the other one, I'm going to pull the yarn through this way. Okay, so that's the magic ring. I'm going to close it, but not completely because we're going to work inside the ring.
That's how you make a magic ring. We're gonna secure it with a chain. And then we're going to make 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You're gonna make a treble. To do a treble, you're gonna yarn over twice. 1, 2. You're gonna come here and put the hook inside the ring. Pull the yarn through the ring like this. Now you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops in the hook. You're gonna yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops again, and then yarn over and pull it through these 2 loops. Okay, I'm gonna move the treble to the side. Now we're going to make 2 more trebles, total of 3. Okay, yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull it through the next 2 loops right here, yarn over, pull it through the 2 loops, another treble. Okay, okay, so now after we make 3 treble crochet, we are going to make 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna put our hook here in the circle. We're gonna make a slip stitch. Okay, so basically what we just did is this part here. Okay, we're gonna do 3 of those. So in order for us to do another one, we're gonna repeat the same process. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so after the 4 chains, we're gonna make a treble, yarning over twice, putting our hook here in the magic circle, pulling the yarn through, yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull it through the next 2 loops, yarn over, pull it through the last 2 loops. We're gonna make 3, so 2 more.
Okay. And then we're gonna make 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then right here, we're gonna make a slip stitch. Okay, so we made 2. We're gonna make 1 more of the same. 4 chains. 2, 3, 4. Yarn over twice to make a treble. Yarn over to the first 2 loops. Yarn over through the 2 loops. Yarn over, pull it through the last 2 loops. Another one. Yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops. Yarn over, pull it through the second 2 loops. And then through the last 2 loops. Okay, so 1 more. And then 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a slip stitch here in the circle. I'm going to make the slip stitch. I'm going to close the ring, but not completely. Leave it a little open because we are going to continue putting our yarn through the middle here. So now what we're going to work on is these 2 loops on top of each section. And how you do that is by coming here on top. We're going to make a slip stitch in all these stitches here on the chains. So we're going to do a slip stitch here. Let's see, I'm grabbing the first chain here. One slip stitch, 2 slip stitch, 3. Now I'm already here on the top, so I'm going to go here on top of this first treble, and I'm going to insert my hook here on the top, and I'm going to make a single crochet. Okay, so in the same stitch we made the single crochet on top of this treble, I'm going to make 5 double crochet. Yarn over, put my hook here in the same stitch, pull the yarn through. Now we have 3 loops in the hook. Yarn over, pull it through the first 2 loops, and yarn over, pull it through the last 2 loops. I'm gonna make 5. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now we made this first part here. Now we want this indentation to be here in the middle of this section. So how we're going to achieve that is by making right here on top of the second treble a slip stitch. So we're gonna insert our hook here. We're going to pull the yarn through completely to make a slip stitch. That's going to create the indentation, okay? So now on top of the last treble here in this section, right here, we're going to make 5 double crochet, okay? all 5 in the same stitch. This is 1, 2, 3, 4 in the same, and 5. Okay, now in the same stitch here we're gonna make a single crochet. So insert the hook here in the same, pull the yarn through, 2 loops in the hook, yarn over, pull it through, both loop. That's a single crochet. Remember, you started here single crochet, 5 double crochet, a slip stitch, 5 double crochet, and you finish here with a single crochet, the same way you started here, to make the same shape. Okay, so now we're gonna repeat the same. We're gonna make slip stitch here in these chains. Gonna make 3 slip stitch. That's 1, 2, and 3 on the last one using my nails. And then here we're gonna make a slip stitch in the magic circle. Okay, we're gonna repeat the same process. Let me close this circle a little bit. Okay, so what we did here on top of this, that we created this shape, we're gonna do the same thing here, and we're gonna do the same thing here. And I'm going to do 3 stitches here, 3 slip stitch. Okay, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and then here on the top of this one, of the first treble, we're gonna make a single crochet, and then 5 double crochet. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here in the middle, on top of the second treble that you did in this group, you're gonna make a slip stitch to create an indentation. On top of the third treble, right here in the next stitch on top, you're going to make 5 double crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the same space, you're gonna insert your hook and make a single crochet. Yarn over, right? Pull it through, 2 loops in the hook, yarn over, pull it through the last 2 loops. That's a single crochet. So that's how it goes. Now here we're gonna make 3 slip stitches. 1, 2, and in the last one, which is the hardest one to get in, you're going to make a last one, 3, and here in the center another slip stitch. Okay, so let's see how it's starting to look. You have 2 sections completed. Now you're gonna repeat the same concept in this one. So let's do that.
And keep in mind that if you want to make a clover, you will have to add a section. an extra section to make 4 instead of 3.
On these chains, we're gonna make a slip stitch, 3 slip stitches. Okay, so right here, you come here and you make the first slip stitch. One, two, three, and here on the top you're gonna make a single crochet, and then 5 double crochet in the same space. This is 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in the next one here on top, I'm gonna make a slip stitch, and then in the next one, next stitch here on top of the third treble that you did in the previous round, you're gonna make 5 double crochet. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again in the same stitch, a single crochet. Okay, you're going to repeat here 3 slip stitches and then 1 slip stitch in the center. Okay, let me just feed. We might get more yarn so I can have better tension in my stitches. Okay, so now 3 slip stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, and here in the center you make another one. Okay, let me just close the ring a little. Now what we're gonna work on is the stem. For the stem, we're going to crochet 13 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now in the second chain from the hook, not including this, so it's 1, 2, right here we're going to make a slip stitch. Same concept. The slip stitch, you insert the hook, pull the yarn through completely. That was many already. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, oops, do 11 again. 11 and then 12. Okay, and then here in the center again, you pull another slip stitch and fasten up. I always like to fasten up with a chain, and then I'm going to cut my yarn long enough to weave in the tail. I'm going to pull again the center to close it, and this is how the shamrock is looking. I have two because what I like to do for this specific project is to put this together like this, and of course it's up to you. You can leave it like just one instead of doing the double, but I like to do it like this, the double. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a darker yarn to stitch it together. Let me share with you how. Now you see how this stem is going, both of them are going to the same direction, and I like to do this. Put it right side, right side. So what I'll do is when I sew these together, I just grab them together so they are both looking in the same direction. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to weave in the ends
Using a yarn needle.
and then I'm going to put both sides together. Okay, so weaving in the ends, it's pretty simple. What I did is I grabbed both ends, the one from the magic circle and then the one we end up with. I make 2 knots to secure it, but mostly what I wanted it to do is to close the ring completely. The magic ring, magic circle, however you want to call it. And then I'm just going to do weaving the ends here, grabbing some stitches. This is going to be inside in my case because I'm putting both together like this, so I'm not gonna even see it.
But if you decide to use this motif for other purposes and leave it just one side, make sure that you hide the tails very nicely. To attach my shamrocks together, I'm going to use a contrast color. I'm going to make the blanket stitch all around. Let me share with you how. First, I want to make sure that I have both of my shamrock facing wrong side to each other. You want the right side to show for both. I'm going to start here, putting my yarn needle here, leaving a tail to weaving at the end. And again, make sure that they're both facing wrong side together. Just making sure as well. Okay, and the right side facing outside. Okay, so let's start. The way I make the blanket stitch is by wrapping the yarn around this way. Let me show you.
Then I'm gonna come on the other side, and then I'm going to grab a stitch here get this out of the way to start. Okay, now you see how it's nicely, because it's a contrast color. I'm gonna come back here
and grab the first stitch that I made. That's how you make the blanket stitch.
that goes framing the border like that. So I'm going to skip one stitch. I'm going to grab the next. I'm going to skip one and grab the next on the other side. And you see how I'm making it look like a loop here. But it's, you get the idea. So I'm going to skip one, grab the other one. I'm going to skip one on the back, grab the next one. Okay, and always looping my stitch this way. So what I am doing is I am framing. It's going to look, the stitch is going to be very noticeable, but I'm also framing my border with the contrast color, and I'm going to continue making the same. Okay, so like I mentioned before, it's kind of like a loop, right? You're gonna loop it. I'm going to skip the next stitch, just this one, and grab this one. Same thing on the back. Skip one, grab the other one, and I'm going to pull my yarn through like this, making sure my yarn is in the loop. Or to explain it better. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same with the next stitch. I'm going to, now I decided to, you see how this, we always like to show the indentation, so I'm going to come lower in this case. I'm going to come all the way here at this part, and I'm going to go on the other side, same, and I'm going to make the stitch longer in the center. Okay, I didn't really skip any stitches. I just made this a little bit bigger. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do, and then I'm gonna skip one. I'm gonna come to the next one. I'm skipping one, coming to the next one on the other side, and so forth. So just continue putting them together. As I mentioned before, for the purpose of this garland, I like to do this just as a contrast. And again, it doesn't have to be a darker color. And it doesn't have to be this kind of stitch. You can stitch it together, just making another stitch. But the idea is to make this thicker, double-sided. So I'm going to skip one, grab the other one on the other side as well. Okay, so continue making this all around, and I'll meet you here to put the stems together as well. Okay, so I reached already this end, and I still have my tail. I'm going to just grab these two together and make a knot just to secure it, nothing more. 2 knots, and I'm going to just cut the yarn short. Okay, so now this, for some reason this one's longer than this one, but it's okay. I'm going to just try to put them together. I'm going to continue using this yarn I think I have enough. If not, I get more. But this is basically just a couple of stitches along the side.
For this part, I recommend you use the same color yarn. I decided to do that after the video. So just do a couple of stitches to put these two together, right? But use the same color yarn. It looks so much better if you don't put the contrast color in the stem. And that's the way you make the shamrock for the garland. I have all the components now. I have the rainbow, the pot with gold, and the shamrock. Now I'm going to make the cord, and I'm going to share with you how to make it and how I decided to put it all together in a garland. I always like to temporarily place things together, so I'm using the stitch markers to put them temporarily on the cord, just to make sure I like the way it looks.
For the cord, I'm going to be using two colors. I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to make a slip knot. And I'm going to hold the yarn, this lighter color, in my left hand. I'm going to hold the other color here. And I'm going to just loop it here. So now I have two loops in the hook, like this. And then I'm going to yarn over the lighter color and I'm going to put it through. Okay, so now I'm going to continue grabbing this to make two loops in the hook, yarn over and pull it through. Okay, continue looping this darker color like that, and yarn over the lighter color through both loops. And that's how I'm going to create the cord for this garland. Okay, so look at how beautiful this is. I will continue until I get the desired length.
This particular one, I made it 36 inches long because I'm just doing it for the purpose of the video to show you, and I'm just going to hang the 3 motifs. The way I attach the motif is by finding the middle and then finding the placement correctly so I can space them evenly. In this case, I have 3 motifs, so I'm going to put one in the middle right here using my yarn needle. I'm going to just grab the motif and put my yarn needle through. I'm going to leave 2 tails at the end. I'm going to make 2 knots here, and then I'm going to hide the tail inside the motif along the side of the cord. And that's why I'm deciding to use the same color, in this case the green, so it's not as noticeable. I'm going to do the same thing with the other 2 motifs. When you have more than 3 motifs together, I suggest you to test placement first. And here it is, the full size garland decorating the nursery. I'm happy to report that they are very satisfied with the outcome. Look at these beauties. Thank you for watching. Until next time, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this. Goodbye.